Hello everybody, welcome back to Play and Behave. Last time you saw this car, it was getting ready for a waft. It passed, but at what cost? It should be a neutral. Can you hear it? Come have a look, I'll show you what I see. Right, so here's what I'm seeing. Now when we drive, we're having to knock this brake plate, the rotor protector, I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Deflector? Stone deflector? Who knows? It's called something. But as you can see from the top, we don't have any grinding. You can see clear, there's the hub, and we're still clear there, right? Now the reason this thing got so badly damaged is because I decided to try and do the lower ball joints myself. Now previously we've just bought the whole new knuckle, right? I've got another one of those in the car for the green off-roader, but normally I'll just buy a whole new knuckle. Now because I don't like to do a lot of googling and I like to do shit as smooth as possible, I decided to try and replace the lower ball joint myself instead of doing a 50k drive to pick apart and back. And what I ended up with was a sledgehammer and a replaced ball joint. No worries at all, no worries at all, until hopefully you can see it, come on. There is a crack. Why's that flipped? Down here, there is a seam, and you can see where it's cracked there. Now let me show you how I found out. I had a couple of screwdrivers and I was trying to pry it back out, and I saw that the screwdriver went right through the other side. Here it is. So this will give you a real good idea of the actual problem that I'm having. Every time we go for a drive, you've got to pull over, grab your hammer, grab your fucking screwdriver and bash it a bit. So I told the missus, no more of this shit, I'm going to get it fixed. I thought I just had to bend it more, but it turns out it's a bit more severe than I thought it was. We get down here, like so. There I am. Alright, so here's the screwdriver. I'm going to pop it through, and you can see it poking up through there, right? Not good. That means that the rotor's pretty much fused. No, it hasn't. That moved a lot. I think I could come off pretty lucky here. I think I could come off really lucky here. Let's see if we can see it on the side angle, eh? Yep, you can see the split there. Let's put the screwdriver back in. Get that under there. So there is the screwdriver, and this lower part is still rather close to the brake caliper. Now my fear, and it really is a fear, is that I'm going to have to pull the rotor off. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull the rotor off to get a better look at this. So I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to pull that. I'm going to pull the caliper and the rotor off, and we're going to get a look at the back side and see if I've completely cooked this rotor or not, because hopefully, I mean, you don't want that snapping at 100 k's. So let's get back into it, see what we can find out. Alright, hopefully that stays still. We'll put these back in. Then we'll get these two bolts out next. Slide the caliper off. Looks like everything else is holding up all good. Ball joint looks good. I'll show you more about it. So when you do the ball joints, you have to smash this out from the upward side. There was little tack welds from the factory all around there, so you need to whack it out, and that's how we got the damage on the caliper, on the whatever it's called. You tell me in the comments. Leave a bloody comment, do me a favour. Got to be really careful with these brake hoses. You do not want to replace one of them. They are a fucking annoying thing. It's just time I don't want to waste. But if I can do this without... Oh, I just sweated on the brake. There's a drip right down there. That's hard work, that is. Alright. So there's our caliper bracket. And our caliper is hanging up nice and tidy here. It shouldn't fall from there. If it does, that's on me, and I don't recommend you doing it. Okay. I think it's done some damage. So let's have a look at this. Alright, so I've pulled it off, and I know, you're not meant to touch it with your bare hands and all that shit, but I don't really fucking care. As long as they stop, but you do need to be quite careful, to be honest. So, I think we got brake cleaner anyway, so we got this here, and now we can have a look. Oh, what's that? That'd be a hole. That'd be a hole. So, it looks to me, oh, that shows up really bad on camera. That has definitely been rubbing on the inside of that rotor there. I think I'm happy with that. If it was up in the middle more, to me that's a bit more dangerous, because then your whole thing's gonna separate. But there's nothing really to separate from, because most of the meat is actually up in there. You know, it's not connected at the edge here. It's connected somewhere in this middle point up here. Possibly even at the top, I don't know. Anyone tell me? Who's cut a brake in half before? What can be done from here? So we've got a few options as to what we can do to tackle this. As I run through my head, we could new tech it. Don't want to do that. Could replace it. Unfortunately, you can't get to these screws without pulling off the hub, but I could ankle grind it, couldn't I? But then you can't put a new one in. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bend it back as much as possible. Yeah, not good. We are going to continue on the mission. We're going to bend it back to the way it should be. Ooh, the whole car's moving. I'm going to get a hammer. Hey guys, so it's the next day, and I'm just editing the video back, and it looks to me when I'm hitting the brake shield that there's a risk that I could be puncturing the lower ball joint. I've had to go outside and double check now that I've seen the video. It looks fine to me. I haven't punctured the bush or the rubber, but what I'd recommend is putting something behind the next time you attack your brake shield with a screwdriver and a hammer. Word to the wise. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, so I think I've got it. We're not going to know until I've gone for a drive, because generally it seems to shake in the wind, as you can imagine, being pretty much cut in two at the bottom. But let's have a look at that gap now and see if we see anything outrageous, shall we? We have to make sure the wheel, we'll make sure that this hub stays hard up, otherwise it's going to give us a bit of a distorted idea. Let's get some zoom on that bitch. It looks clear to me there, very slight. Down here is where we had the issues. And yeah, you can see where it's just been shining the inside of the rotor there. But as far as I can tell, we seem to be good to go now. I did just feel that move again, so give me a second. You know what, I think I've done it. Let's get this put back together in double time, and what we'll do is we'll go start on the lower ball joint on the other car. It's going to end up looking just like this fucking protector, I can guarantee it. You're going to see why this one ended up split in half. Trust me.